Any place like Bethel College is at risk for something like that. You know, when you look at statistically, they're very rare, but there is a possibility for it to happen.
You know, it is something that can happen anywhere, no matter what precautions you take. One of my speech classes last year talked about this and did some research on it, and there's a lot of different things that are being tried on college campuses, but we certainly have to give this our full attention. It's easier to prevent something or try to prevent something than to deal with it afterwards.
I felt very sorry for Brooke because she had been my student, and I know events like that can be very traumatic. I mean, I've known many people who've been robbed, I've known people who've been killed, and so I'm always sad about something like that.
Your situation?
Yes, the college is starting to really implement a new policy. And I think one thing that's happened, a couple things, are the ways that doors are locked. So one thing I recall is that in the academic center, if there is some kind of an incident of any kind, that the doors, some of the doors to classrooms did not lock; they were just open. So I think there's some steps that have been taken to do some really basic things with safety.
Not really. There were some measures that were taken a long time ago, probably I think about 2007 when they had this shooter down at Virginia Tech. And what happened was we took measures to kind of limit access to a lot of the areas where the professors are. There's a couple of doorways that we have here to this area that are closed off from the outside. You can go out, but you can't come back in. So some measures were taken back then, but nothing recently. Yeah.
Well, I think the college is working in a careful, proactive way to work out a plan and to give people training. You know, I don't know what else they're supposed to do. There's some things that are really almost, and unless we're going to live in an environment where there are just heavily armed guards 24 hours a day, and that has its own hazards, there's very little you can do beyond say, okay, we will do the best we can to prepare. I have no idea, because that's a hypothetical, and one can always go on and on about hypotheticals. I've lived through many situations in my life. I've been in situations where there have been active shootings of various kinds. I've been in situations where there have been tanks on the street. I've been in situations where people are firing heavy weapons. I've been in mobs where people have been fired upon. I've been jumped by someone who tried to kill me. So, but one never knows exactly what one's going to do next. So I couldn't tell you exactly what I would do. I would try to secure the safety of my students as well as I could, and of other people, and of myself. I'm certainly not trying to get killed, and I don't want to see anyone else get killed. Not even particularly the shooter.
The most simple thing I would say is just to keep yourself safe. Go somewhere where you can lock yourself in. We have a communication system. There would be an all clear if there is an end to the problem. And I would say that that would probably be the best thing you could do.
I think the most important thing is to be exactly what we should always be as Christians, ready to meet our Maker. Sure, none of us want to be martyrs. We shouldn't try to be martyrs, and we should try to secure people's safety as much as possible. But there are much worse things for Christians to do than die and meet their Maker. And we sometimes forget that. We think the end of the world happens because someone's experienced violence. Violence is a horrible thing, and I don't like violence at all. But it's not the end of the world, not for a Christian.